I feel like truer statements were never said as what I'm about to read to you now, which is that a former Call of Duty director says that he's worried about the future of the series under Xbox, specifically talking about Call of Duty. Glenn Schofield is an interesting character, I feel like, because when you think about his name, normally the first thing you think of is Dead Space, and then the actually very poorly done Dead Space ripoff. I forgot what it was called. The Callisto Protocol. Yeah. So those are the two games that immediately come to my mind. I'd completely forgotten that he did in fact work on the Call of Duty franchise in quite a capacity as well, directing some of the more notable games in the series way back in the day. So I do agree that, you know, we should be worried about the Call of Duty franchise under Xbox, though, in saying that it hasn't been the greatest since basically back when we got Black Ops 1. Now, if Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and in between there, like maybe up to at most maybe Modern Warfare 3, because then after Modern Warfare 3 we got Ghosts, so that definitely felt like, you know, from Ghosts onwards that was more of a holding pattern of like the games that we got. Even Infinite Warfare, World War II tried to, you know, bring things back but didn't really work out, and then it's just been going off on its own trajectory with Vanguard onwards. Now, that being said though, I feel like there's every reason to be worried and concerned, given that Xbox has, you know, Halo under its belt, and looking at like how great Halo was perceived in the 2000s up to 2007 Halo 3, and then after that this sort of massive drop off of like, oh, Halo 4 just isn't quite that, or Halo 5 just quite wasn't, you know, it definitely wasn't what Halo fans wanted, and in fact was actually a sign of like things shifting, because Halo 5 did not have split screen, which was, I think, a huge thing for a lot of old heads to be very concerned about. And with Infinite, it launched in a good state, but it didn't maintain a good audience in that sense. Like, it didn't maintain a good number of players, and with the like final Halo Infinite tournament that happened recently, it's only fair to see that whatever the next Halo game is going to be happening is likely also going to be multi-platform to some extent, but also will they be able to bring the franchise back after constant blunder after blunder from Halo 4 onwards. So I think it's fair to say that Call of Duty is likely going down a very similar trajectory, since a lot of people are making memes about how with Black Ops 7 it's basically like a sign for them to just buy Battlefield instead. But let's see what Glenn Schofield specifically has to say about this. So during a decade at his studio, Sledgehammer Games, Schofield directed installments like Modern Warfare 3, which was back in 2011, mind you, Advanced Warfare 2014, and World War II 2017. I thought World War II was 2018, that's weird. And then he left the studio. He co-founded in 2019 before going on to build the Callisto Protocol at Crafton. And this is all like an interview with VGC at Gamescom Asia, which I didn't even know. Asia had its own version of Gamescom. That's interesting. Schofield says that he's skeptical about whether the FPS series could remain as successful under Microsoft, which absolutely, I'm already telling you right now, it's not going to be. I feel like the largest amount of success this Call of Duty has seen was basically during the 2011 to 2015 period, specifically. I say 2015 because Black Ops 3 is basically where the numbers just have not been the same. I think that it's a slight drop off compared to previous games numbers when we're thinking about Black Ops 3, but then every game after that has just, it really does feel like the audience just isn't quite there yet, or has not returned since. I guess, is that fair to say? I don't know. For those of you guys that have been around the Call of Duty bubble for the longest time, let me know, because I've only really been getting into Call of Duty more recently, and I've been playing more of the older games, like Call of Duty 1, for example, which was a lot of fun to play through, albeit somewhat difficult, especially on veteran difficulty, but it was still like a fun game to play through. Anyway, under Microsoft, citing cultural culture concerns such as the way in which staff are incentivized and Microsoft's recent track record with franchises like Halo, which I think is a very, very apt comparison given that we are talking about first-person shooters after all, which have declined in popularity. I really worry about it immensely, I really do, he said VGC, because what's happening to Gears of War? Where's Halo? You know what I mean? And you look at EA, you look at these big companies, and I'm like, where's the Strike games? Where's this game? And there's so many that just fell by the wayside. So I think it's also very easy to look at Call of Duty and be like, okay, when it's not doing the numbers anymore, it's easy to just let the franchise go. The moment Xbox lets go of Halo, I think at that point they've basically just kind of like lost everything that they could possibly have, because Halo is like the one and only thing that made Xbox for the longest time and has been there since the very, very beginning of the actual console, and is like the trademark, if you will, of what it means to be an Xbox gamer, is to be a fan of Halo. Even if you don't like first-person shooters, at least the games relatively remain good enough to still stand on their own in some way, shape, or form. He continued, unfortunately, once you're assimilated by one of these companies, I think you lose some of their traits. The other thing is, I don't know, but I would imagine that the Call of Duty bonus system is out, and now you have theirs, and people are going to go, that isn't that. Okay, I actually don't know what he's going on about this one. Wait, hold on. So I know losing your unique traits and characteristics of the franchise, yes, that will be lost as a part of getting gobbled up by another company, i.e. assimilation in some ways. I would imagine that the Call of Duty bonus system is out. I think the bonus system refers to like how certain... So what Call of Duty used to do was align with a particular platform, like with Xbox during the 360 generation and PlayStation during the PS4 generation, where those consoles would get bonus early access to maps before the other system does. So they were part of the reason why console wars were really happening. But yeah, I think that's what he's probably referring to. Microsoft acquired Call of Duty franchise part of $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard in 2023, which is still the worst thing to happen to gaming in basically the face of this entire planet, as far as I can tell. And second to that would be basically the addition of microtransactions in games, but I'll hold on to that for now, and will bring to the strong performance of its latest entry, as evident by the FPS being as popular as ever, but it's still not quite historically popular, I think is probably the best way of putting it. People are still there, people are still buying and playing the game, but the issue is, at least for Call of Duty, is that it's not as historically popular as it once was. Of course, Black Ops 6 came to Xbox Game Pass day and date, and I don't think this article goes into it, but basically what ended up happening was Microsoft had to eat the cost of $300 million by bringing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to Game Pass rather than letting people actually buy the game, you know? Early results were positive, with Microsoft declaring it the biggest COD launch ever in terms of players, but the game saw a sharper post-launch decline than usual. Obviously, if you want the increase to be higher, if you can't maintain the player base, the decrease will be just sharper than that, so it's worth keeping that in mind. Scoville said that his pessimism about the future of COD is also related to the departure of key staff, as well as exit of co-founder Michael Condrey, who also left Sledgehammer, followed by Black Ops veteran David Vonderhaar. So I suppose part of it is also the fact that many people have also been leaving the machine that have made the games what they were. The franchise can continue to exist in its own little phantom form, but the main developers, the main creatives, are not behind it. At least the creators aren't, perfect either. Like, they can't make the best game each and every single time, but that's also not to say that they couldn't try either. So the last one, Modern Warfare 3 2023, was a 50. They still sell well, that happens, I always wonder, why did you take that guy out? It's not going to work later, and very few times does that work. And I think they're talking about when the Ghost had to die, I think, at the end of Modern Warfare 3 2023, something along those lines, and it wasn't even done well in other ways and instances. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot going on here. they just aren't as good. They aren't the same. Treyarch still good, but you know, I feel like I got lucky. I feel like I was at the heyday of EA during my time there. I mean, who's who working there? And then when I got to Activision, I made Modern Warfare 3, 2011. As a matter of fact, Modern Warfare 3 was the last Activision Call of Duty to win Action Game of the Year. And my other 2 games were nominated for it, but now you just don't see them. Oh yeah, so also, yeah, it's very, very unlikely for Call of Duty to get any accolades moving forward at this point, because obviously their games are just tanking in quality and have not been what they once were. As someone who's actually been going back through some of the older Call of Duty games myself, like Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare was a fun time. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was also a really good time. Going back to Black Ops, that was a really, really good time as well. Like, I don't know, man, like, there's just, the quality just definitely is not there, and largely probably has never been since. That being said, though, while Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is coming out November 14th, EA's Battlefield 6 has been basically enjoying a really, really good time at the moment. A lot of people look at, you know, Black Ops 7 and are like, this is my reason to buy Black Ops, not Black Ops, is my reason to buy Battlefield now. But you know, it is what it is. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on this. Like, firstly, the degradation of Call of Duty as a franchise from a sales perspective, not necessarily a quality perspective, but you can also talk about it from a quality perspective as well, because I feel like there is definitely not enough soul there. But also with the turnover of staff, like, I'm curious, like, what particular mixture or what particular aspect really kind of dragged everything out of Call of Duty, as it were. I'm just curious to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel. I'm almost certainly sure that Call of Duty is in fact going to go tanking with the Microsoft ownership, but we'll only see as time goes on. But with all of that being said though, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.